konting kembot na lang ako ay mag-vlog about sa Final Fantasy. Since yung Final Fantasy VII Remake ay may pre-order na. Okay, I'm here sa Honda and turns out meron palang power outage. Ready pa naman ako mag-move back in because I've already paid the electricity bills. Actually supposed to talk about Final Fantasy VII's remake and how I fell in love with Final Fantasy, pero ayan, emergency lights lang ang meron dito sa condo. So most likely doon ako sa Malabon maggagawa ng Final Fantasy review. What? I'm not sure what it's really called. Pero tawagin na lang natin na reasons why I love Final Fantasy. Ayan, ginagawa ng daling sa condo. Okay. So I'm gonna ride the LRT train and go back home. So I'm here na, back home in Malabon, and I'm ready to film. Welcome back, guys, to the first party. So, kakagawa lang namin nun. I'm so sorry. Today, we're going to discuss or talk about why I love Final Fantasy so much. So, why am I going to talk about this? Kasi recently nga, kaka-release lang sa E3 na meron ng pre-order for the Final Fantasy VII Remake. And because of that, it inspired me na halongkatin yung collection ko. This cabinet was my project in high school. As you can see, ayan yung logo ni Tidus. Look there. Ayan, 95 lang yung grade ko kasi medyo messy siya. Third year ako. St. Agnes. And these are the contents. Ayan, Final Fantasy all the way. And yung iba ko pang PS2 na bala at that time. Alright, so the reason why I love Final Fantasy is, well, actually, wala pa akong idea back then. So I actually started with Final Fantasy Origins. Yep, and so, ang aking in-interview dito ay aking daughter. So, yung Final Fantasy Origins back then ay mga burit-burit pa sila. And at that time, sobrang dilim ng mga dungeons, pixelated pa. I thought yun yung style ng game. Para siyang Mario actually. Pero kapag may battle effects na, ayun na, nag-iiba na siya. Tapos yun yung may CGI. And back then, hindi ko pa alam yung meaning doon. Tapos, I moved on sa Final Fantasy VII. Pero parang hindi rin guwapo yung character. But then, I fell in love with this game. I don't have yung case. It's Final Fantasy VIII. At that time, sa PlayStation 4 disc pa sila. Kapag sobrang laki ng content ng game at sobrang haba ng gameplay and ng story. So, ayan, si Squall, si Renoa Days 2, si, what's his name? Cypher? Oh my god, I have to look it up again. So Days 3, and then last is si Laguna, also known as Squall's father. You know what they say, every girl loves a very heartwarming love story. And yun, natuwa talaga ako kay Squall dito, yung mga silent pa mysterious type na guys. Okay, sa Final Fantasy VIII, dito ko nalaman yung word na Ragnarok. Hindi pa uso noon yung Ragnarok na game. I was only like, 8 years old. 8 years old kasi I remember my very first selfie Tilmit, I bought this sa Shangri-La during our field trip sa Ripley's Museum. I was only grade 3 then. So, yun, dun ko nalaman. Yung word na Ragnarok, yung Ragnarok kasi is yung airship na sinasakyan nila to go around yung continent or world ng Final Fantasy VIII. Next is Final Fantasy IX. Sa Final Fantasy IX, nandito yung isa sa mga pinaka-favorite characters ko sa Final Fantasy universe, and it is Zidane Tribal. I'm not sure Zidane Tribal or Zidane Tribal. Yung lalagyanan ko nito, meron siya nung leaflet. Doon sa leaflet, nakalagay din yung mga quotes ng characters. So, ang quotes doon ni Zidane is, "You don't need a reason to help people." Meron siyang impact sa akin. Anyway, so ayan, ang disc 2 niya ay si Garnet, si Princess Garnet. And then disc 3, si Steiner. I'm so sorry. And then yung last disc niya is si Vivi. If you guys play Mobile Legends, the very first time I saw Cyclops talaga, naalala ko agad si Vivi. Kasi sabi ko, bakit ganyan yung tsura niya? Bubuet, tapos hindi kita masyado yung face, tapos magician. Ayun, si Vivi talaga siya. What I love about this is that ang dami-daming Moogle doon. Start na ako doon yung mag-hunt para maka-earn ng Gil or Jill. I'm not sure how they pronounce it. And then, meron din dito yung Tetramaster. Yung Tetramaster elemental game nga ba? Elemental card game siya. This is one of my favorite Final Fantasy games. Next, ito na isa sa mga sinasabi nilang best RPG games of all time. Final Fantasy X. Dito nila in-introduce yung voice acting. Before din sa Final Fantasy VIII and sa Final Fantasy IX, you just really have to keep on pressing X. You just have to keep on reading the pop-up dialogue boxes. Pero this time, it's pretty much entertaining kasi may voice acting na nga. And pagkatapos kasi din sa Final Fantasy IX, medyo bumurit ulit yung mga characters, and dito matatangkad na ulit. And sobrang ganda na nung CGI, yung mga backgrounds. And oh yeah, I would like to take note. Nung pinanood ko nga pala yung Avatar by James Cameron, sobrang naalala ko dito yung final. So doon yung Final Fantasy kasi yan din yung mga airships, tapos yung iba, yung 'di ba Blue Monkey sila doon. So naalala ko doon I forgot yung guardian ni Yuna. Parang kamukha niya. Ayun. Yung guardian ni Yuna. I forgot the name. Ayun. So, oh my God. Si Yuna nga ba yun? Si Kimari? Yeah, I think it's Kimari. Yeah. I think it's Kimari. I'm not sure if he's here. Yeah, I think it's Kimari nga. Yeah. Oh yeah, it is. It's Kimari. It's Kimari Ranso, guys. Dahil sa kanya, nung nakita ko yung Blue Monkey sa Avatar, hindi na ako ganun nabigla kasi naset na ng Final Fantasy yung imagination ko na there are kind of different species that could actually talk and communicate with humans. Anyway, that's the thing about Final Fantasy. Yung fantasy niya talaga is sobrang magical. Ang creative talaga ng gumagawa ng Final Fantasy. So, kudos to Squaresoft, Square Enix. I really love you guys. Okay, so sobrang astig nito. Nagkaroon siya ng part 2. Ito yung very first na nagkaroon ng direct sequel, which is Final Fantasy X-2, or what people usually read as Final Fantasy X-2. It's X-2 because, yes, Roman numeral po sila. Parang iPhone X, iPhone X. Anyway, so enough with the... Ito yung isa sa mga super duper favorite ko. Sobrang favorite ko siya. Ayan, mayroon na hang Yuna. Kaso missing na siya ng isang...
Kim make this to me. Ayan, sobrang missing na siya. I'm so sorry. She's my favorite. I'm not sure, I think 11 or 12 years old na ata. Anong year na ba to?
Yeah, 2003. I was like 11 or 10 years old at that time. So, si Yuna, isa sa mga favorite ko dahil, well, because hello, girl power. Nandito yung nagsimula yung concert. Inintroduce na dito yung pop culture. So, sa Japan at that time, nauuso na nga yung magical girls, parang Sailor Moon. So, nagkaroon sila dito ng dress sphere. Wala na yung mga guardian forces na meron yung Final Fantasy 8, 9, 10. Dito naman sa 10-2 na-introduce yung iba't ibang dress spheres. Yan, nagpapalit-palit sila ng outfit. Super girl power talaga sila. What I like about this is that they started off with a concert. Like, YRP in position. It's showtime, girls. Okay, I'll insert that video in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
YRP in position. It's showtime, girls.
Yan, sobrang ganda talaga ng YRP. Dahil sa YRP na yan, dyan ako nagkaroon ng nickname na Yuri. I'm so sorry. Yun yung nickname ko, and at the same time, in-game name ko sa Ran Online and sa Ragnarok. Anyway, so next, ito, second to the last game na Final Fantasy I had in PlayStation was this one. It's Final Fantasy XI, the very first online version nila. Chains of Promathia or Promathia, I'm not sure how to pronounce it. Final Fantasy on PlayStation 2 kasi na-introduce na yung internet. Pero at that time, you have to connect it directly. Yeah, you have to connect it directly sa likod ng console. And sobrang bano pa talaga ako at that time. I was so young to be playing these games. But, hello, look at my girl. My girl here, Jada Chloe. I'm really, tinatransfer ko na sa kanya lahat ng aking alam para maging future something pro gamer siya, hopefully.
Ayan, bahala siya kung ano gusto niya.
Natuwa ako dito. Pero hindi ko siya masyadong nalaro kasi yung dial up pa ata kami. Anyway, here is the... Siguro this is my second favorite na Final Fantasy game. Here is one of my super favorite na game ng Final Fantasy of all time is tong Final Fantasy XII. As you can see, my mom even got it in still case. Okay, so ayan. Isa siya sa very first collector's edition na meron ako. Yung bida dito, si Van. Para siyang si Zidane actually. Isa siyang kind of like unggoy. Thief din siya, so he did not really have a very good background, but just like Zidane, Van likes helping people. The reason why I love Final Fantasy XII so much is because yung backstory or yung story about Princess Ash or supposedly Queen Ash is sobrang sad kasi namatay agad yung asawa niya. Kakakasal lang nila, tapos namatay agad dun sa war. So, hindi siya nagkaroon ng not that exactly like typical happy ending na the husband and the wife gets married, they have their happily ever after. Dito, hindi siya that kind of happy ending. In the end naman kasi si Princess Ash or Queen Ash, nakuha niya pa din yung kingdom niya. So, kind of like a happy story. She still gets to retain or ano tawag doon, makuha niya ulit yung kingdom niya. Okay naman siya. Girl power pa din. Ito nga pala yung siguro first game that tackles politics. Politics, military. Yung Final Fantasy VIII, meron din military. Pero, I don't know, yung Final Fantasy VIII kasi sobrang mas naaalala ko yung pagka-love story niya. One of the best games ever. Final Fantasy XII. And also, by the way, dito, medyo dynamic na yung gameplay nila. Hindi na siya yung laging yung wait time. May wait time pa rin, pero it's really different. Hindi na kagaya nung sa Final Fantasy 8, 9, 10 na hintayin mo pa talaga yung wait time. Like, turn-based, ganon. It's no longer that way. May araw-araw na siya, ganon. Nag-i-evolve na dito ang Final Fantasy. Medyo na-heartbroken ako nung nag-move on yung Final Fantasy sa PS3. And it took me a while before I get to play itong Final Fantasy. And eto siya. Yan ay si Lightning. Isa siya sa mga badass characters ng PlayStation 3 of all time. Itong Final Fantasy XIII na to, nagkaroon siya ng dalawang sequel, Final Fantasy XIII Lightning Returns and Final Fantasy XIII